Every couple of months, another viral post pops up screaming that your 401k is rigged, that the government is holding your money hostage, that you'll never actually get to use it, that it's a scheme to keep you chained to your desk forever. Almost all of that is garbage. It's fear bait built to rack up clicks from people who have never actually looked at how retirement accounts work. But here's the twist that makes this whole topic messier than it looks. There genuinely are solid, number-driven reasons to pump the brakes on your traditional 401k contributions, or at least send some of that money somewhere else. Not because of some shadowy conspiracy, because of arithmetic. This isn't about whether the 401k is good or evil. It's about a much sharper question, based on your tax bracket today, where your bracket is probably headed, how much you're saving, and when you plan to retire, where should your next dollar actually land? Sometimes that's the traditional 401k. Sometimes it's a Roth account. Sometimes it's a regular brokerage account. And sometimes it's knocking out debt or building a safety net first. This isn't about scaring you off saving. It's about saving on purpose. Let's break down exactly when sticking with a traditional 401k can quietly work against you and what to do instead. First, let's give credit where it's due. The 401k has earned its reputation as one of the strongest wealth-building tools out there. Fidelity's Q2 2025 retirement data found 595,401k accounts had crossed the $1 million mark, an all-time record, up 16% in a single quarter. These aren't people who got a lucky stock tip or inherited a fortune. They're regular workers who showed up, contributed year after year, and let compounding do the real work. The average 401k balance hit $137,800 in Q2 2025, and the average combined savings rate, your contribution plus your employer's, landed at 14.2%. Nearly matching Fidelity's suggested target of 15%. For a huge chunk of Americans, the 401k isn't just a piece of their retirement plan, it is the plan. And the employer match on its own is basically a guaranteed 100% return before the market even does anything. Nothing else offers that. But even the best tool can be the wrong tool if you're using it at the wrong moment. Here are the 6 situations where that happens. Situation 1. You're a great saver, and that's exactly the problem. This one throws people off because good savers are supposed to come out ahead. They did everything by the book, maxed contributions for decades, watched the account balloon into 7 figures, and then required minimum distributions show up and flip the script. RMDs are forced withdrawals the IRS makes you take from traditional retirement accounts once you hit a certain age. Under Secure Act 2, that age is 73 if you were born between 1951 and 1959. If you were born in 1960 or later, it climbs to 75 starting in January 2033. Why do RMDs exist at all? Because traditional accounts get a tax break going in, contributions shrink your taxable income the year you make them, and the money grows without being taxed along the way. Eventually, the government wants its cut, and RMDs are how they collect it. Here's where it gets ugly. Decades of disciplined saving can produce RMDs way bigger than anyone expected. Studies from Morningstar and Vanguard both point out that high savers frequently end up in a higher tax bracket in retirement than they were in while working. That sounds backwards. The entire pitch of traditional contributions is pay less tax now, more later, when you're in a lower bracket. But that assumption falls apart for people who saved aggressively. When nearly all your money sits in tax-deferred accounts, the future tax bill can spiral. RMDs push money out whether you need it that year or not. That extra income can make part of your Social Security taxable. Pensions, side income, and dividends pile on top. Medicare's IRMAA surcharges kick in once you cross certain income levels. Add it all up, and RMDs alone can shove big savers into a bracket higher than anything they saw during their careers. The promise of lower taxes later quietly breaks. It gets worse from there. Vanguard's modeling shows accounts in the $1–2 million range often keep growing faster than RMDs can drain them. So the balance keeps climbing, the required withdrawal keeps climbing with it, your tax bill keeps climbing, and your bracket keeps climbing too, even while you're actively trying to spend the money down. The old idea that you'll be in a lower bracket in retirement simply isn't true for a lot of these savers. The tax code rewards spreading your money around, not stacking it all in one place. A traditional 401k gets you a deduction today, but builds a growing tax bill for the future. Withdraw 4-6% a year from a large traditional balance, and you can easily land in the 22%, 24%, or even 32% bracket, especially with pension income in the mix. Money sitting in Roth accounts, taxable brokerage accounts, or an HSA doesn't come with forced taxable withdrawals, which gives you real control over when and how much gets taxed. If your projections show that future RMDs will land you in a higher bracket than you're in right now, that's your cue to stop funneling every spare dollar into the traditional 401k. Situation 2. Your tax bracket today is lower than it will be later. This shows up constantly with people in their 20s, 30s, and early 40s. Early in a career, you're usually earning less than you eventually will, sitting in the 12% or 22% bracket while you build skills and climb the ladder. Traditional 401k contributions make sense when you're dodging a high tax rate now in exchange for a lower one later. But what happens when it's the reverse? You're paying a low rate now and heading toward a higher one down the road. Research consistently shows that for people whose income rises over time, which describes most college-educated professionals, Roth contributions tend to build more after-tax wealth over a lifetime than traditional ones. The reasoning is simple. If your income grows even 1-3% a year, you're paying tax at your cheapest rates early on. Traditional contributions save you 12% or 22% now, but if your account balloons and RMDs eventually push you into the 24% or 32% bracket, you've lost that trade. Picture someone starting out at $60,000 with 2% annual raises. Early on, they're in the 12-22% range. 20 years later, they're making $140,000 and sitting at 24% or higher once bonuses and promotions are factored in. Traditional contributions gave them a tax break during the cheap years, but retirement withdrawals get taxed at the pricier bracket they eventually climbed into. Roth contributions would have flipped that. Pay the 12-22% now, then enjoy tax-free growth and withdrawals later, no matter what bracket RMDs would have otherwise forced them into. Fidelity reports that more than 94% of employer plans now offer a Roth 401k option, yet only 16.2% of eligible employees actually use it. The ones who do skew younger, mostly ages 29 to 44, they've done the math. The TIAA Institute found that workers in the bottom 3 tax brackets early on benefit the most from Roth contributions as their income rises over the years. This isn't about saving less. It's about redirecting your next dollar into a Roth 401k or Roth IRA instead of the traditional bucket, same discipline. Better tax outcome over your lifetime. Situation 3. You need access to cash more than you need a tax break. Nobody talks about this one because it's not flashy, but it's real-life planning. If you don't have an emergency fund, you're saving toward a house down payment, you're carrying high-interest debt, or you're stretched thin every month, locking cash away in a 401k isn't your smartest move right now. That's the population that needs money they can actually reach, not funds sealed inside a retirement account. If your employer offers a match, still grab the full match. That's a guaranteed 50-100% return, and turning down free money makes no sense. But beyond the match, your next dollar might do more good elsewhere. Here's a sensible order of operations if stability is the priority. Build a real emergency cushion covering at least 3 months of expenses. Pay down anything above roughly 15% APR. Fund an HSA if you're eligible. It comes with 3 layers of tax benefits and can cover medical costs anytime. And build up a taxable brokerage account for flexible, penalty-free access. The 401k isn't the villain here. Timing is everything. Financial stability means you can absorb a shock without blowing up your entire plan. Having 6 months of expenses within reach keeps you from raiding retirement accounts during an emergency and eating penalties that undo years of compounding. Situation 4. You're planning to retire early. This is one of the biggest reasons someone might deliberately pull back on traditional 401k contributions. If you're aiming to leave the workforce in your 40s or 50s, and your plan doesn't include the Rule of 55 exception, your 401k funds stay locked until age 59.5. Your timeline and the account's access rules simply don't match. The Rule of 55 lets you withdraw penalty-free from your most recent employer's 401k if you leave that job during or after the year you turn 55. But not every plan offers it, so check your plan documents. For anyone retiring before 55, the 401k creates a real mismatch. You have the money, but you can't touch it without a penalty, right when you actually need income. The fix isn't ditching retirement savings, it's building accounts you can access. A standard taxable brokerage account has no contribution caps, no access restrictions, and no withdrawal penalties at any age. Sure, gains get taxed. Long-term capital gains on assets held more than a year are taxed at 0%, 15%, or 20% depending on your income, but only the growth is taxed. Your original contributions come back tax-free since you funded them with after-tax dollars. Building up a solid taxable brokerage balance alongside your retirement accounts creates a bridge. Use the brokerage account to cover the early retirement years, roughly 45 to 59, then switch over to your retirement accounts once penalty-free access opens up. Together, they cover your whole timeline instead of leaving a gap. Situation 5. Your 401k plan is just bad. Some plans are genuinely great, low fees, solid index fund choices, clean interfaces, even institutional-grade share classes regular investors can't access on their own. Others are a mess, high fees, limited choices, pricey actively managed funds, and fee structures designed to be confusing. According to Brightscope/ICI research, the average 401k participant recently paid around 0.52% of assets in total plan costs. But that number hides massive differences by employer size. Big employers with 1,000 plus workers and $50 million plus in plan assets average 6% in all-in fees, thanks to their negotiating leverage and access to institutional pricing. Mid-sized employers with 999 employees average 0%. Costs climb as the plan shrinks. Small employers under 100 employees often pay 75% in total fees, and that's where things really start to hurt. The 401k Averages book found small plans holding $5 million in assets, averaging 1.09% in total costs. That gap matters enormously over a career. The Department of Labor put it in real numbers. Starting with $25,000, growing at 7% annually over 35 years, a 0.5% fee leaves you with roughly $227,000, while a 1.5% fee leaves you with about $163,000. That single extra percentage point in fees wipes out 28% of your final balance. High fees don't just cost you today, they cost you every year afterward too, because that lost money never gets the chance to compound. If your plan charges above 1% in fees, or the only options are expensive actively managed funds, the calculation changes. Grab the match, that's still free money, but consider sending anything beyond the match into an IRA stocked with low-cost index funds instead. Watch out for fund expense ratios above 0.5%, asset-based administrative fees above 0.5%, wrapped fees baked into variable annuities, managed account fees running 9% on top of everything else, and revenue-sharing arrangements hidden inside fund expenses. Sometimes the right call really is grab the match, then stop contributing and redirect the rest elsewhere. Situation 6. Roth conversions are part of your long-term plan. This one matters a lot for high savers. If you already know you'll be doing Roth conversions down the road, maybe during a sabbatical, a gap between jobs, or in the years right before RMDs begin, you might want fewer dollars going into traditional accounts right now. Here's the logic. It can be inefficient to keep stuffing money into a traditional account to dodge taxes today, only to convert bigger chunks of it later and pay tax on all the growth that piled up in the meantime. You're not avoiding the tax, you're just postponing it and potentially paying more. If conversions are already part of your plan, shifting some of today's contributions to Roth makes sense. You build tax diversification now, slow the growth of your traditional balance, which keeps future RMDs more manageable, and give yourself room to convert at lower rates later. The smaller your traditional balance is by your 60s, the easier it is to convert strategically, targeting specific brackets, dodging IRMAA surcharges, shrinking future RMDs, and steering your taxable income throughout retirement. This is where tax planning turns into actual strategy. It's not just about how much you save, it's about where you save it and when the tax bill comes due. The bigger picture. Every one of these situations circles back to the same question: where should my next dollar go? There's no universal answer. Your current bracket matters, your future bracket matters, your savings rate matters, your timeline matters, your plan's fee structure matters, how much liquidity you need matters. People who end up with the smoothest, lowest tax retirements almost always have their money spread across 3 buckets: tax-deferred accounts like a traditional 401k or IRA, tax-free Roth accounts, and flexible taxable brokerage accounts. That mix gives you options, the ability to choose which dollars to tap and when, and that flexibility is genuinely powerful. Someone with $1 million entirely in traditional accounts has very few choices. Every withdrawal adds to taxable income. RMDs force specific amounts out on a schedule. Social Security, taxation, and Medicare premiums respond to that total income. Control is minimal. Now compare that to someone with $400,000 in traditional accounts, $300,000 in Roth, and $300,000 in taxable. They can pull RMDs from the traditional bucket, top up with tax-free Roth withdrawals, and tap the taxable account strategically for bigger expenses, steering their taxable income year by year. For context, 2026 contribution limits. 401k contributions cap at $24,500 for under 50s, with an extra $8,000 catch-up for ages 50-59 or 64 plus. There's an enhanced catch-up for ages 60-63 that adds $11,250, pushing that group's max to $35,750. IRA contributions top out at $7,500, plus a $1,100 catch-up for 50 and older. HSA limits sit at $4,400 for individuals and $8,750 for families, with a $1,000 catch-up starting at 55. Taxable brokerage accounts have no cap at all. Knowing these numbers helps you build a deliberate strategy instead of just going with whatever your employer defaulted you into on day one. The bottom line: the 401k is not a scam. The clickbait is wrong about that part. It's one of the most effective wealth-building tools available. Fidelity's numbers show 595,000 people who became millionaires through steady contributions, and the employer match alone is a guaranteed return nothing else can match. But blindly dumping every available dollar into a traditional 401k without thinking through the long-term math isn't a strategy, it's autopilot. And autopilot is exactly how people end up with higher taxes than expected in retirement, less flexibility when they need it most, and a nasty surprise when they realize their plan's fees quietly ate 28% of their potential balance. The answer isn't fear, it's intention. Ask yourself the real question: given everything about my situation, where should my next dollar actually go? Answer that honestly, based on your own numbers, and you're not reacting to a scary headline anymore, you're building a plan that actually works for you. The traditional 401k might be exactly right for your next dollar, or it might be exactly wrong. The math decides, not the marketing. Check your brackets, know your fees, think through your timeline, and spread your savings across account types. The people who come out ahead in retirement aren't the ones who blindly followed one rule forever. They're the ones who stayed intentional, adjusted as life changed, and understood that where you save matters just as much as how much you save. That's the part nobody puts in a headline.